News Now is brought to you by the Bank of Guam, the People's Bank, Docomo Pacific, island-wide, worldwide, the choice is clear. And Micronesia Renewable Energy, go solar for zero money down. And Colgate Optic White, whiter teeth in 1 week. From the Pacific News Center in Hagåtña, Guam, here's Clint Ridgell and Janella Carrera, Betsy Brown, Roselle Romanos, PNC Sports with Blake Watson, and weather with Rebecca Kim. With your news now.
Good evening, I'm Clint Ridgell, and you're watching PNC's News Now.
And I'm Janella Carrera with your top story tonight. Explosive testimony on day 2 of the Allen Agababa murder trial. 2 witnesses testified that Agababa went to their home the night he allegedly murdered his mother, told them he killed his mom, then asked them to help him get rid of the murder weapon. It was testimony that no one saw coming. Husband and wife Randall and Leialoha Fulcher took the stand and revealed information that could seal Allen Agababa's fate. Agababa is facing aggravated murder and the death of his mother, Shelley Bernstein, in August of last year. Here's what the Fulchers said.
And your testimony is that he just walks right in and says,
I killed my mom.
Randall had told me that his friend Alan had put his mother out.
Randy is currently in prison on a separate case. The 2 explained that on the night Bernstein died, Agababa went to their home in Carlos Heights, in which Agababa asked Randy to help him get rid of his clothes and a gun, which Randy admits he had illegally sold to Agababa. Randy explains more.
He asked me if I wanted the laptops.
and you said,
No.
why not?
Well, he said that they were his, and that he said that he's going to throw them away or give them away because he was telling me that he was going to use them or say that they were stolen.
There were some discrepancies in their testimonies as to how the firearm was disposed of. For example, Leialoha says her husband got rid of it that same night, but Randy says he actually hid it at home in Hagåtña first. The one thing the 2 do agree on, however, is that the gun was thrown into the Elig River.
What happened to the gun?
I did. I threw it in the river the next day.
Under cross-examination, Randy admitted to defense attorney Randall Cunliffe that he took a plea deal in exchange for his incriminating testimony.
You get to get out of jail. This is a get out of jail free card.
Yes.
And other witnesses also testified today. You can read more on this story online at pacificnewscenter.com.
Former Governor Carl Gutierrez is accusing Governor Eddie Calvo of debate dodging. Gutierrez says Calvo has pulled out of 2 political debates, one scheduled for tomorrow and one scheduled for the 28th.
You cannot run and you cannot hide. And I think your tactics today, I think just shows that, that you have something to hide. You wouldn't answer the question of did you give a member of your family business, a member of the Calvo business, a $3.6 million tax write-off?
No. I have not provided any write-offs. I have not done any write-offs for any Calvo family member, nor any Calvo family business. And I'm not too sure why my opponent keeps being repetitive on this, but I want to just make that extra clear so that we can continue to move forward in a campaign.
Former Governor Carl Gutierrez says he has documents to prove otherwise that came from a whistleblower at the Department of Rev and Tax.
They're spending all their time right now trying to hunt down the whistleblower everywhere. They're even questioning senators. And so you know that if they're doing that, then you know that those documents are real.
That is patently false. Again, he has been making these false accusations. That actually sounds more like the Gutierrez administration. I'm willing to provide all the audits that were put out in his administration for not only autonomous agencies, but also in general line agencies. Most of the books were unauditable, or there were millions of dollars in question costs. And that is the reason why there was a withholding of so much federal monies.
And Governor Calvo says he will be participating in the October 30th Great Debate at UOG.
In other news, as one major airport procurement battle continues in court, PNC obtained documents that allege serious procurement fraud within the airport police division. And the Attorney General's office says criminal charges may be brought against those involved. The Attorney General's office has confirmed that it has received a complaint from the owner of Code 1 Law Enforcement Supplies, Diana Kama, alleging fraud. Although AG Lenny Rapadas could not provide details of the investigation, documents PNC obtained indicate that a certain company was unfairly winning multiple airport police contracts because the owner is married to an airport police officer. Are you aware of these complaints?
Well, we are aware. It was several weeks back when we received a complaint regarding that, and we are in the process of investigating the complaint for different areas, procurement fraud or criminal violations or anything that we can come up with, that we can find.
But it's not just the AG's office that received the complaint. In a letter written to Public Auditor Doris Flores Brooks, a complainant says Kama tried other avenues, such as airport executive management, but she was ignored. The companies that won the contracts to provide law enforcement supplies are 671 Tactical and 671 Firearms. The owner, Delilah Kenga, is married to airport police officer Kenneth Kenga. There have been several developments that have caused even more concern over seemingly blatant violations of their procurement regulations, the letter states.
We take any kind of allegation dealing with procurement fraud, with criminal violations that may involve criminal violations seriously. That's why we are that's why we're investigating it.
In the letter, it states that many of the contracts for bid land on Officer Kenga's desk and that he is in charge of determining the specifications for these contracts. Further, it alleges that although the airport police chief has approval over the purchase, it's other officers who often coerce him to sign them. Calls for comment from airport management and to Officer Kenga have not been returned as of news time.
Guam was the first U.S. soil Jeffrey Fowle was taken to after being released by the North Korean government overnight. Fowle was arrested in North Korea in May for leaving a Bible at his hotel. A Department of Defense aircraft transporting Fowle stopped on Guam this morning before taking him to his home in Ohio. State Department Deputy Spokesperson Marie Harf told the media that Fowle was evaluated by a doctor and appeared to be in good health. Harf could not speak about the details of Fowle's release, but said the U.S. government will continue to push for the release of the two other Americans being held in North Korea.
We are very glad that Jeffrey Fowle will be reunited with his family in Ohio very soon. We had been working actively to get him returned home, as we do for the other two Americans. We had a time window where the DPRK asked for us to facilitate his travel home. The Department of Defense provided that airplane. He left Pyongyang, they stopped in Guam, and now he's on his way back to the United States.
Americans Kenneth Bay and Matthew Todd Miller continue to be held in North Korea.
All right, we'll stay tuned when News Now returns.